friends, welcome to part 2 of your reading lesson today. I hope you had fun acting out different scenes with Miss Spears that she read to you from The Boy Who Harnessed the Wind. Now, in part 2, you are going to be reading a few more passages from the book, and you're going to be looking for sensory words or adjectives. Remember, an adjective is a word that describes a noun. So, for example, the flower is blue, the blue flower. Blue would be the adjective, flower would be the noun. Adjectives can also be sensory words, words that describe how they felt or what they looked like, or what they smelled like, or tasted, or what you heard. Lots of different ways to describe something using sensory words as adjectives. So today you're going to read a few passages with Miss Spears, and then you're going to be completing handout 27B, okay? Miss Spears will go over the directions with you about that, but it says, fill in the blanks with sensory and feelings words to complete the scene on page 15 from The Boy Who Harnessed the Wind. So you're going to need your copy of The Boy Who Harnessed the Wind, and if you don't have a copy, that's okay. You can go up here to our first slide and click here to view a copy of the book, okay? All right, friends, I hope you enjoy reading about sensory words with Mrs. Spears.
Welcome back, friends. You're going to add sensory and feelings words to a sentence about a scene from the text, The Boy Who Harnessed the Wind. And to get us ready to do that, I want you to think about this question. How does using sensory and feelings words in a story work? You are going to have an opportunity to examine a few pages in the text to identify sensory words. And remember, sensory words describe what we experience with our senses of sight, hearing, taste, or touch. Okay, you will see two icons on your screen. One looks like a hand and the other is an eye. And that is just an icon to help you remember to listen for sensory words as I read. I want you to close your eyes and think about the scene that I'm going to read. Are you ready? Listen carefully. He saw the machine drawing cool water from the ground. What sensory word is being used to describe the water? Think. I'm sure you thought of the word. The word that the author uses to describe the water is cool, and he's using it to describe how the water feels. Now, the author could have used other words to describe the water like cold or wet, but they use the word cool. Keep listening. Sending it gushing through the thirsty fields, turning the maize tall and green, even when farmers' prayers for rain went unanswered. Which sensory words did the author use to describe the fields of maize? Think. Share with a learning partner or share aloud. The author used the words tall and green. Now, another word to describe the plants could be healthy, because plants that are tall and green are healthy. So now, friends, think about this. How do you think William feels emotionally when he sees the machine drawing water from the ground? I'm going to ask it again. How do you think William feels emotionally when he sees the machine drawing water from the ground? Think. Share your thoughts with your learning partner. Here's what came to my mind. I think William could feel joyful or excited. What do you think? Okay, friends, I'm going to read a new page in the text, and you are going to complete sentences about the page that I read using sensory words that you can think of yourself. You're also going to think about how William feels on this page. What I'd like you to do now is get handout 27B, a scene about William. Okay, listen as I read the directions. Fill in the blanks with sensory and feelings words to complete the scene on page 15 from The Boy Who Harnessed the Wind. Now, one thing I want you to remember is that you will need to think of different sensory or feelings words than what the author used. Are you ready? Okay, listen as I read page 15. In the junkyard, pieces appeared like rusted treasures in the tall grass. A tractor fan, some pipe, and bearings and bolts that required every muscle to remove. Tonga, he'd shout to the birds and spiders, holding up his prize. But as William dragged his metals home, people called out, "This boy is Misala. Only crazy people play with trash." Okay, now I want you to think about new sensory words you could use to describe the scene on this page. Remember, think about ones that are different than what the author used. Okay, now share your words with your learning partner or just share aloud. Okay, friends, listen as I read the sentence frame on handout 27B. In the junkyard, pieces appeared like treasures in the grass. William felt. Okay, now remember, on those blank lines, you should think about which words might be best to complete each sentence. Choose that word and then write the word on the handout. For example, the author described the treasures as rusted. Rusted could mean old or brown, so I could add the word brown here to describe what the treasures look like. Remember, when you get to the last sentence, you will need to infer or guess how William is feeling based on the words in the text and the illustration. Okay, let me tell you what you're going to do again. You're going to complete handout 27B by adding sensory and feelings words to the sentence frame. Remember, you can go back and rewind the video if you want to listen to page 15 again. Are you ready? Pause the video to complete handout 27B. All right, awesome first graders. Did you complete your sentences? If you didn't, please make sure you go back and do so. Next time, we'll continue with the text, The Boy Who Harnessed the Wind. But until then, be kind and do something great because you are capable of greatness.